What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten football channel. We've got our power rankings now heading into week 2 of the college football season. Everyone's played a game, and we saw some teams that looked really impressive. Saw some teams that didn't look all that great, had a couple of losses in there. But overall, I think the Big Ten looked pretty strong in week 1. Nothing really surprising. I guess the Purdue loss to Nevada was a pretty big surprise. The Wisconsin's dominance over USF, that was the most impressive performance in my opinion. That stood out to me as well. But let's go ahead and get into the rankings. At number 14, we've got Rutgers starting off the season with a win over UMass, 48-21. Very impressive win. I'm not ready to bump them up the rankings just yet, though. I mean, it's still Rutgers. This is still a team that was awful last year, and they've been awful now for quite some time. So there's some potential there, though, for Rutgers, and that was a very nice win for them to kick off the season. McLean Carter, new quarterback transfer from Texas Tech, had a very nice day, 340 yards passing. So could potentially be a decent season for Rutgers. We'll have to wait and see, but right now I'm just going to hold off a little bit. We're going to keep them at number 14 until we see them play somebody a little bit better. Indiana is at number 13. They got a win over Ball State, 34-24. Not a great performance, really. They did go with Penix Jr. at quarterback, so that was interesting. I thought Peyton Ramsey was going to be the guy for them, and they got the win. Again, it was a pretty close game. I expected them to win this game a little easier. I thought they'd put up a lot more points, but 34 is pretty good. I could see them scoring more in the 40s in this game, though, because Ball State is just not very good, to be honest. But anyways, they get the win here. We'll see how they play next week as they maybe get into some tougher competition. Actually, I'm not sure who's next on the schedule for Indiana. But anyways, Purdue is at number 12. The team that suffered a very tough loss to Nevada on the road. Game-winning field goal, like a 56-yard field goal. I mean, that's a tough way to go out, and it's a tough way to lose to start the season. They have a pretty tough schedule as well. When you look at their non-conference schedule, remember our simulations had this team at just 2-10. Maybe they were on to something. I don't think they're going to go 2-10, but they may actually struggle this year. Elijah Sindelar had a pretty big day, threw for over 400 yards. Rondell Moore, he had over 100 yards, but they still lost that game. At number 11, we have Illinois. Very impressive in week 1. This is a team I've been talking about for some time now. I really feel like this program is about to turn the corner. I think that this Illinois team is about to get much more competitive. Had a very nice win here. I realize it was just Akron, but still, Akron's been decent, at least in the MAC, and Illinois beat them bad, 42-3. They had all their points before they even got to the fourth quarter. So this was an easy win for them. Brandon Peters played pretty well in his first game. Very nice win for Illinois. We'll see if they can compete in the Big Ten West, but they're off to a good start with this win over Akron. Number 10 is Minnesota, a team that really struggled in game 1. Some people, I think, are overreacting to this a little bit because South Dakota State is a very good FCS team, and Minnesota showed a lot of toughness to come back in that fourth quarter to win this game. So I'm not reading too much into this. I don't think that their season is going to be awful now just because they almost lost to an FCS team. I think they'll bounce back. They'll be okay. But for now, they are down towards the bottom here in our power rankings at number 10. And time will tell. A lot of these teams that struggled in week 1 are going to bounce back and are going to play much better in the future. I think Minnesota will be one of those teams. Nebraska, another team that struggled week 1. They struggled to put away South Alabama. The offense just was not what I expected. I expected them to be able to, do a lot more than they did. Really struggled to run the football in this game. South Alabama was not good last year, so this was not a game. I have the spread for this game, and I remember this jumped out to me. The spread was like 33 or something like that. It was really high, and I said, that is a huge spread for a game against an FBS team. So, yeah, I didn't expect it to be a blowout like that. But I thought they would handle this game a little bit easier. South Alabama had this game. It looked like they might actually pull off an upset at one point in the second half. But, yeah, Nebraska's able to get back on track and get the win. Maryland was very impressive. They beat Howard 79-0. 79-0. Josh Jackson made his debut at quarterback. A very impressive win. It's Howard. It's an FCS opponent. I'm not going to get too carried away with this. We'll see what happens when they actually play somebody good. But it was enough. I mean, 79-0 against anybody is pretty impressive, and it was enough to put them at number 8 in our power rankings, but not quite enough to get them into the top half, into the top 7. Number 7 is Northwestern, a team that lost but is still ranked ahead of a lot of teams that won because they played a really good team. They went out west, played Stanford, lost the game. It was closer than that, really. Stanford got a touchdown late to make it a 10-point game. It was a 3-point game there with just a little bit of time left. The defense for Northwestern played really, really well in this game. The offense just really couldn't get going. We'll see if is Stanford's defense that good, or is Northwestern going to struggle big time offensively? That's what we're going to have to watch moving forward. But still, I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for going out west, playing a really good team. And we've got Northwestern number 7. Iowa is at number 6. They beat Miami of Ohio 38-14. Pretty solid win for this team. Miami of Ohio is a good MAC team, so this was not a game I expected them to go in and blow them out, and they did. They controlled this game really in the second half. It was 10-7 at halftime, so it was pretty close early, but they got it going in the second half. Stanley had a pretty good day throwing the football. Sargent ran for 91 yards, so they got the win despite the offense struggling at times in this game, but they took care of business, beat a quality opponent, a good MAC team, and we've got them at number 6. Michigan State's a team still looking for offense. Are they going to find any offense? That's the question. Their leading rusher in this game, Connor Hayward, only ran for 43 yards. He was actually the leading rusher for anyone. The leading rusher in this game had 43 yards. Both teams struggled offensively. Michigan State's defense and special teams really propelled them to this easy win. If they could have put some offense together, they would have been very impressive. They would have probably, won this game 45-7 or something like that, because the defense looked dominant. That defense is going to keep them in every game that they play this year, but they've got to get better offensively if they want to have a chance to beat the top teams in the Big Ten. Penn State is number 4. I was really impressed with this team, beating Idaho 79-7. They are off to a 1-0 start as well. I thought the offense would take a little bit of time to get going here with Sean Clifford at quarterback, some new faces there, but it didn't take any time at all. They had 20 points in the first quarter. They had 44 points at halftime. Again, put up 79 in this game. They got a lot of guys in there getting some experience. This was a very impressive performance for Penn State. It's just Idaho, though. Idaho's at the FCS level now. But if it's any indication of what's to come, Penn State's going to have a very good year. Wisconsin is at number 3. Again, I talked about it. I think this was the most impressive win by any team in college football in week 1. Going on the road and beating South Florida and just destroying them 49-0. Their defense was dominant in this game. They completely shut South Florida down. It was unreal. I picked South Florida to pull off an upset in this game. I feel pretty stupid for that at this point. But yes, Wisconsin, they came out ready for this game. Jonathan Taylor had a big day, 135 yards on the ground. Cone was solid at quarterback. This was a very good win for the Badgers. Number 2 is Michigan. We've been hearing about this new offense that's supposed to be really explosive, throwing the football a ton. We saw glimpses of it, but overall it wasn't what I had expected against a team like Middle Tennessee. And I realized they put up 40 points, but it was just a little inconsistent. The freshman running back Charbonnet, he had 90 yards in this game, so that was impressive. But they got the win. It was actually the defense that surprises me. They gave up 21 points. Now that's pretty rare for a Michigan defense to give up that many points against a team like Middle Tennessee. We'll see if they can get that cleaned up. But number 1 is Ohio State, still number 1. They were number 1 last week. This first game of the season didn't do anything to make me think Ohio State is going to be any worse than I thought before. I thought Justin Fields was very solid in this game. He was efficient throwing the football, 18-25, 234 yards. You saw the flashes, you saw the athleticism and how dangerous he is as a runner. Just because of that, this offense is going to be tough to stop. Even if he couldn't throw the football good at all, because of his legs, this team is going to be very dangerous offensively. The defense, I think they still got a ways to go. A lot of those points for FAU were actually in the fourth quarter. Of the 21 points, 15 were in the fourth quarter. So they played pretty well for the most part. But that's it for our Big Ten power rankings for Week 2 as we head into Week 2 of the college football season. We'll see how things shake out next week. A lot of big games. And we'll see who goes up and who goes down. You guys can give me your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more here on our Big Ten football channel.